Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we're going to review a figure that has been out for a very long time, and in fact it's been out for so long that it is now retired. But I just recently actually purchased him and I think he is very cool, and it is this. This is the Schleich Saltasaurus. Now I am a huge sucker for any Saltasaurus figures. I love this sauropod, I really do. It's such a different looking sauropod that he's just such a standout for me, and I always thought that he was probably one of the coolest, if not the coolest, sauropod, well, next to Camarasaurus, because for some reason I just love that guy. But the Saltasaurus is a very cool sauropod, and I had only recently discovered that there was even a Schleich Saltasaurus at some point, because I am not too familiar with a lot of the older Schleich figures, but I had actually noticed one on eBay that people were bidding on, and I totally missed it, and I was pretty obsessed with finding one, honestly, for a little while there, because I thought he looked really cool, and I did just find one on eBay a few weeks ago, luckily in a lot with a few other dinosaurs, and I got him, and here he is for you guys to observe. So let's get a closer look. So we'll start up here at the head. You can see that the head is sculpted pretty nicely. Nice orange eye with a black pupil. Looks pretty good. Maybe not the most accurate Saltasaurus head, but it doesn't look bad at all, in my opinion. It looks pretty nice. The sculpt work on the face is, well, now a little out of focus, but it's pretty small. It's really hard to pick up on any huge details. You can see the ear back there behind the eye area. I can't really notice the nostrils too well, honestly, on either side. So yeah, I don't really see too much in the way of nostrils. I'm not really sure why that was missed when they have an ear. But maybe it's just there and I'm not really picking up on it because it's so small, and I am looking at it through the camera. But you can see some nice detail going back along the neck. Very nice sculpt work. I really like the paint scheme of it. I think it's a very potentially realistic coloration. Looks very, very good. Beautiful sculpt work on the underside here. Becomes a lighter coloration on the underside. Even the feet, look at that. Over by the claws here, it's like a darker coloration, and then it turns into a lighter coloration on the underside of the feet. So for them to actually sculpt out this beautiful detail and give it variation of color on the underside of the feet, even right here you can see too, it gets to a darker coloration on the back of the feet. That's very cool. I think it's a very cool addition to this figure. And then you can see the shoulder area here, some skin folds coming down into these big stocky legs. Nicely sculpted claws. No real gloss or anything put onto them, but they look pretty good. The overall body sculpt is really nice. I love the work that's been put into this. And there's the signature Saltasaurus back. Looks very beautifully sculpted as well. A little bit of skin folds here. The stomach region is very nice as well. Coming back here, you can see the hip bone a little bit protruding. Some muscle tone here in the leg and the kneecaps again. The back feet are nicely sculpted as well. You can tell just looking at this guy, he's a very big, stocky dinosaur. So it looks very nice, really. Beautiful sculpt work on the tail as well. Comes to a nice curve. And both sides are sculpted really nicely, in my opinion. Kind of like this side a little better than the other. I'm not really sure why, but I do. But it looks very beautiful. And the paint job is top notch, it really is. Everywhere you look, the paint is just applied really nicely, really realistically. Doesn't look like paint, it looks like the body color, and that is one thing that I love when I can say that. I love dinosaurs that look like they're just painted in a very natural, realistic look. And this Saltasaurus is definitely one of those figures. Overall, this is a very, very nice Saltasaurus figure, and I feel like I would love to see Schleich take a shot at this again, because as I mentioned, this one is retired, and I believe has been for quite some time, but it's really, really nicely done. It's a very beautiful figure, and it's kind of an underrated figure in my opinion, because as I mentioned, I didn't even know this thing existed until recently, and I feel like I've really gotten a good idea on figures that have been released from every company as far as these mainstream ones go. So for this guy to go completely under my radar for some reason, it's pretty impressive to me. As far as the size goes, from the head to the tail, you are looking at almost 9.5 inches and about a little over 4.5 inches tall. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, so you can see that the Schleich Saltasaurus is significantly smaller than him. but it's not a small toy at all, really. It's not one of the bigger, larger Schleich dinosaur toys like they have a lot of the time, but it's definitely not super small. It's a pretty good size. Now, as I mentioned numerous times, it is very saddening to know that this guy is retired, and he's pretty hard to find, honestly. I had a heck of an ordeal just locating one of these guys. So I will try my best to link you guys in the description to anywhere I can find one of them on eBay or Amazon. But Amazon, those prices are always absolutely ridiculous on there. So I'll try eBay, but again, I don't know for sure if I can find one even on there right now. And if I do, I cannot guarantee that it'll be a reasonable price because this guy's been discontinued for quite some time. And it is a really, really nice Saltasaurus in my opinion. Not probably the best Saltasaurus that has ever existed, but it is still quite nice. And me being a sucker for Saltasaurus, I was kind of destined to like it. It is still a very cool figure, and definitely one that I will take great pride in having in my collection. So like I mentioned, I will link you guys in the description if I can, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.